Hey everyone, welcome to another market update. Happy New Year to everyone. It is January 16th, 2025. Today we're going to cover the market trends going back a year and see where the market is heading down here in southeastern North Carolina. Hi, my name is Brian Schrader. I'm with the Coastline NC real estate team at BlueCoast Realty Corporation down here in southeastern North Carolina. We're going to be covering towns such as Hampstead, Wilmington, Leland, Southport, the Barrier Islands in Brunswick County, and also down around the Calabash, Charlotte, and Ocean Isle, Sunset Beach area. So enough of that. Let's dive right into it here. This is the first area we're going to cover. This is going to be Leland and also Navassa to the north and Winnebago to the south. So if you kind of dive into it and look at some of these numbers, currently there's around 269 active listings on the market in this area. And you can see also too, last year they had around 1,301 settled sales that kind of ranged anywhere from $1.1 million to down to $80,000. So that was the given range of sales in this area. But we're going to take a closer look. This is another analysis that I do. We go back about a year to see kind of, see if we see any trends going on with the marketplace. The top line that you see here, these three columns right in here are going to go back from 7 to 12 months, 4 to 6 months, and then going our current market to 3 months back. So these three columns are going to be pretty typical throughout this analysis. And what it breaks down is that the top line that you see here, you have the number of total sales throughout a year, and you'll see that's gone from 682 down to 294. So the settled sales have definitely trickled down. And what that does to the absorption rate, it brings down the absorption rate a little bit because the area can only absorb so many houses per market segment here. But this line right in here will give you the total number of active listings during these three segments. And what you'll see that it's been increasing slightly over the past three segments that you'll see here. And we sit around that 268 active listings in the marketplace. Down here, you'll see that the median price has been relatively stable around that 360 to 370 benchmark. And days on market in this region, in this column here, around 30 days, which is pretty typical, pretty strong market here. And you'll see that the percentage of list to ask, anyone's getting around 100% to around 99%, which is pretty strong in this marketplace. So this is the Leland area. Now, again, a lot of this is going to be new construction, so that kind of affects it slightly. There's a lot of master planning communities in these areas. So let's move along to the next section. We're going to be talking about the Wilmington area, New Hampshire County, which you can see here in the light shaded blue. So we're going to talk about their numbers, but you take a look at the graph here, it's sitting around 876 active listings on the marketplace. You'll also see last year they've closed around 4,067 homes last year, ranging from a whopping almost 14 million down to $65,000. That's the range, with the average being around 595,000 for the New Hampshire County, Wilmington area. So let's take a look at some of their trends, if there are any. You'll see again the top line here. Going back about a year, they were closing around 2,000 transactions during that segment. Now we're sitting around about 1,000, so that's trickled down. And what I'm seeing here, basically in this marketplace of Wilmington, is that the number of active listings in this area has increased from like 679 to 873. So that's an increase, because we've had an inventory issue here. It's slowly correcting itself. As you can see here, the months of housing supply has definitely gone from 1.96 up to 2.86. So that is good for our marketplace. And what does that do? What does that do for the prices down here? Prices, the median price has been relatively stable around that 450 mark. Days on market, anywhere from 22 to 30 days on market there is pretty typical in the Wilmington area. And then the median sales price to list price, sellers are getting around 98% of asking right now. So due to this increase, there's a little bit more pressure on the market. Again, 98% of asking is really, really strong, but you're seeing this market start to kind of balance out compared to going back, 2 to 3 years where it was not in that balanced marketplace. It was a heavy seller's market. So that's the Wilmington area, New Hanover County. So let's move on to Southport. This area, we're going to cover Southport and also St. James Plantation down there. This market analysis will not include the Boiling Springs area, which also has the address of Southport. But again, looking at the numbers here, Southport sits at around 187 active listings on the market. They closed around 547 settled sales last year. And that is ranging anywhere from 3.9 million to 69,000, including, that's including houses and lots together. But let's take a look here and see kind of if we see any market trends. Again, you'll see at that top line, definitely settled sales have gone down from 281 to 121 settled sales. And then you're starting to get an increase slightly in this last 3 months here, gone from 136 active listings to 186. So prices in the Southport area, they're going to be roughly around 550 to 500, basically, right in here, going back a year. And sellers are getting anywhere from, I would say around 97%, 98% of asking in this region. So that's what it looks like going back a year in the Southport, St. James area. So let's move on to the next area. We're going to cover the Hampstead all the way up to Surf City region, just north of the Wilmington area. Take a look how that market's shaking out and see if we see anything different. But here you go. We got around 196 active listings. In this area, we've closed 1,054 settled sales, ranging anywhere from 3.75 down to 55,000. So I'm sure that 55,000 was a lot, but that's the range of sales in this area. And let's take a look at some of these trends here in this region of Hampstead and Surf City. But again, kind of the same thing. Settled sales have trickled down 542 to 217, but active listings in this line here, they've creeped up from 151 going back a year to around 195. Sales price has been pretty stable, anywhere from the, they're staying roughly in that 420 to 480 zone. And days on market, pretty strong, and it's a little uptick here in the last month. Going from like 20 days on market to around 42. So we're seeing that in this area of Hampstead, Surf City, that sellers are getting pretty much around the median line of around 100% of asking. So it's still a pretty strong sellers market up there in that area. Moving on, let's take a look at, this is on the mainland. This is going to be that Carolina Shores, Sunset Beach, Ocean Isle Beach, mainland area of Lower Brunswick County, as you can see here in the shaded blue. So let's take a look at some of their numbers here. They have roughly around 448 settled sales here in this area currently, and they closed around almost close to 1,600 transactions last year, ranging from 1.9 down to 54,000, but the average being around 389,000 was the average selling price point going back a year. So let's take a look at some of those trends here in a second. Let me get out my pointer here, but you can see here settled sales are trending downward. The number of active listings hitting the market during these three segments is increasing. It's increased from 367 up to 445. So that's definitely increasing. You can see the months of housing supply also increasing. The sales price here has trickled down slightly. It's kind of, well, I say that, but it was like 349, went up to 359, and now it's at 333. So we'll take a, we'll keep an eye on that to see what's going on. You also see days on market, this line creeping up a little bit right here. And you also see the sales price to what they're getting, as far as what sellers are getting. They're getting around 98% of asking roughly. And that seems pretty stable right now in that Lower Brunswick County area. So next off, we're going to take a look at the Brunswick County Islands. Now, this market analysis covers all of them: Sunset Beach, Ocean Isle, Holden Beach, Oak Island, with the exception, it does not include Bald Head Island in this market analysis. But if we take a look at the numbers in this area across the Barrier Islands in Brunswick County, they roughly have around 282 active listings. They closed around 763 listings, ranging from 4.5 down to around 157. I'm sure that was a lot there, probably on the backside of the barrier, one of the barrier islands. But taking a look at some of the trend lines here, again, you see the same thing here. You have number of settled sales that are kind of trickling downward here in this line, but you also have an increase in active sales or active listings here in this area, which we haven't really seen before, which is kind of nice. That means that months of housing supply has increased. Overall, comparable sales price or median sales price is around that in the 700s right now, ranging from 720 to 799. And what sellers are getting for as far as asking price, anywhere from, it's pretty stable. It's around that 97% of asking benchmark. So that's pretty stable. We'll continue to take a look at, watching these numbers. I do these videos every quarter to kind of give you guys a snapshot of what I'm seeing in the marketplace. If you guys are looking to get an idea of what your home might be worth, we do CMAs, comparative market analysis. We also have appraisal services as well if you're looking to get an appraisal done in your property. And if you're just looking to get some ideas or have questions on the market in general, feel free to always give me a shout at this number here. We hope this has been beneficial. Again, it's Brian Schrader with the Coastline NC Real Estate Team at BlueCoast, and we'll see you guys here on the next market update. Take care now.